Hello, this is TJ coming back at you from the Own Your Life Network. And what we're going to do is talk some about Chapter 4 of the 45-second presentation that will change your life, okay? And Chapter 4 is titled 4 Things That You Have to Do, right? How many of you would agree in order to accomplish anything that you have to be willing to do some things, right? To be successful in anything, you got to be willing to make some commitments and do some things, right? Okay? Well, it's no different here. 4 things that you have to do. Let me tell you what it says on the first page of the chapter. It says, these 4 things that we're going to talk about, here in the next few minutes are an absolute must. Okay, everybody in network marketing who is making $100,000 or $200,000 or more per year, okay, did and are doing these 4 things consistently. Okay, so what are these 4 things and why do we need to do these things, right? Okay, how many of you can relate back to when you were learning how to drive, right? How many of you actually learned how to drive using a manual transmission? Manual transmission. That's the way I learned how to drive, and I think that's why this is such a terrific analogy to paint the picture of how this business is built, right? 4 things that you have to do, okay? All right? Now, let me ask you something, okay? Would you agree that in order to do something different, have something different, be something different, you got to learn something different, right? Okay? Exactly. Now, here's a question I want to ask you. If all you ever really had wanted to do in your life is get down to the end of the street, 1 block over, end of the street, 1 block over, okay, would you need a car or an airplane to get there? No. You probably can walk, right? Okay? You probably can walk, right? But what if you wanted to go to a neighborhood, couple neighborhoods over? And it's hot in the middle of July, right? If you had the ability to walk there or ride a bike there, which one would you choose? Probably ride a bike. But in order to learn how to ride a bike or to ride a bike, you have to learn how to ride it, right? So now it requires new knowledge. Would you agree? Absolutely. What if you wanted to go to California? Would you ride a bike? Or would you much rather drive a car? Drive a car, exactly, right? Air conditioning going through Arizona is an absolute must, okay? Or you will die of heat exhaustion, right? Okay? So you want to drive a car. Now, how do you drive a car if all you've ever learned how to do is ride a bike? You got to learn how to drive a car. Wow, simple as that, isn't it? Right? What about if you want to go to Hawaii? Can you drive a car? You could try, right? Hopefully it's your dream car because it's going to become your coffin. Right? Okay. Most people would probably want to fly over to Hawaii, right? But in order to fly, if you've never flown an airplane, how do you fly? You got to learn how to fly a jet, right? Absolutely, right? So you got to learn some new knowledge. Well, what we're going to teach you is what it takes to be able to put this thing together. And it's important that you really get this, okay? All right. So let's just say that you wanted to go to Hawaii, okay? Because that's your destination in life. Remember, destinations are important, isn't it? How do you get someplace if you don't know where you're going, right? So destinations are important, okay? Now, what do you do? How do you use the 4 steps, 4 things you have to do to build this business? Number 1 is this, okay? First thing you got to do with your vehicle, right? If it's a car, an airplane, or whatever it may be, you have to get in and get started, right? Okay? What do you do with a car? You got to start that thing, right? That means you got to get in the car, stick the key in the ignition, and turn it, right? That allows you to start the car, doesn't it? Will the car move if you don't start it? No, oh, absolutely not, right? So you got to start the car, okay? That's the first step, right? You got to start the car. Step 1. Step 2, what's the second thing you have to do? You have to use the products, right? Remember in Chapter 3 when we were talking about the example of that grocery store, right? Remember that? Why would that grocery store pay you if you're going to H-E-B to shop? Exactly. Okay? If you're going to shop in my store and I'm willing to pay you, why would I pay you if you shop at the other store? That makes no sense, right? Okay? So since my store is now your store, you got to shop at your store. Buy your own products. Not only buy your products, but keep buying them. Okay? That's really easy because the products we're talking about are things that you're going to buy, use up, and replace and use again, right? Absolutely. So you're going to keep buying the products and using the products. Okay? That's the second step. What's the third step? You got to put your car into gear. Okay? How far can you go when you're sitting parked in the driveway? Absolutely. So even though you've started your car and you've actually taken the products, right, or like putting gas in your car, right, okay, and it's sitting in the driveway looking pretty, just purring, right, okay, how closer are you to your destination? You're not. So just getting in and getting started and taking the products isn't going to get you moving, right? What do you have to do? You have to put this thing into gear, right? Cars move when you put it in the gear, right? So what do? We're going to put this thing in the first gear. What is first gear in our business? It's helping 4 people join you in business. It's sharing this opportunity with 4 people, right? When you share it with 4 people, you're now in first gear. 4 people, okay? Now, are you moving? Sure you are. Are you moving really fast? Last time I remember driving a stick shift, you're not moving very fast in first gear, right? Okay? Now, do we all want to go faster, or are we okay moving slowly in first gear? No, we want to go faster. So how do we go faster? We help those people do what? Sponsor 4 people, help 4 people, right? Share the opportunity with 4 people. That then puts us in second gear. Now, does the car move faster in second gear or first gear? Second gear. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, if we can move faster in second gear, does it make sense we'll probably move faster in third gear? Right. Is our objective get to wherever we want to go faster? Yeah. Right. So we want to get it into third gear. Well, to do that, right, what do we help those 4 people, right, do? And those 4 people that they've helped do, what do we help them do? Help 4 people. So now you've helped 4 to get in first gear, and you've helped them help 4, which is 16 new people, right? Now you're in second gear, and you help those 16 people help 4, and now you got 64 new people. Now you're in third gear, right? And everybody's moving through the gears. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay? So now you're in third gear, and you're moving down the highway pretty quick. How do you get into fourth gear? Do the same thing. Help those 64 people help 4 people. Now you're up to 256 people, and there you go. Now you're in fourth gear. Okay? When you get this thing in the overdrive by helping 256 people help 4, now you're over 1,000. If you add those numbers up, you're at about, I don't know, about 1,360 people or something like that. You're in fifth gear. Okay? Now, what do most people do in fifth gear? They put that bad boy on cruise control, right? And just do what? What do they do in cruise control? What is your function behind the wheel of a car in fifth gear? Let me tell you what your function is. Make sure you're headed in the right direction, because if you're going to California, you want to go west on I-10, right? Not east. And you want to make sure you don't hit nothing. Keep the car on the road, right? What that basically means is lead your team, guide your team, cheerlead, right, for your team. All right? Be the inspiration for your team, right? Okay? That's fifth gear, okay? Now, once you get to that point, what's happening in your business? You're on autopilot. How much effort does it make to move the car at 70 miles an hour when you're on cruise? Very little to nothing, right? So that's the idea behind the gears. If you can get your car into fifth gear, you are on your way to building an enormous team and an enormous business and massive success, okay? So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. This is TJ for the Own Your Life Network.